And we are live. Welcome back to the channel. It is Chosen Wisdom Football, a channel for the football purists, for the critical thinkers, for the Man United fans out there, for the football fans out there who like to think about things. Welcome to the channel. Big up the chat, big up the community. I hope everybody is having a great Wednesday. It is hump day. We are in the middle of the work week, and the match against Liverpool is 4 days away. This time on Sunday, we will know whether we have lost or we have been beaten 10-0. I'm joking. It won't be 10-0. But this time on Sunday, we will know the Liverpool result, and we will be either in despair or jubilation, or we will feel euphoric. Welcome, guys, to right now. We are going to go through, as usual, all of the latest Manchester United news out there. I have, as usual, as I always do, brought it to you guys in a nice little package so you don't have to look for it. So what do we have in store? What is the latest news, guys? Let's quickly go through the headlines before we get into the details, people. INEOS are still trying to acquire the land needed to build the stadium. That is one of the headlines. That's one of the topics under discussion today, guys. INEOS purchasing the land that is required for Manchester United to build their brand new stadium. We're going to get into it, people. Also on today's show, we're going to have Amorim. Amorim apparently has had conversations with Ugarte about his performance, and in short, he's told Ugarte months ago apparently to fix up, to be better. He's already had this conversation with Ugarte. We are going to get into the quotes. Also, your favorite journalist Ben Jacobs has clarified. Ben Jacobs has come out and clarified the UAE consortium situation. That has been the news over, or the big news over the week. Apparently, Man United are being taken over. Apparently, there's a consortium forming. They're about to lodge a bid. We have been told all of this information over the past week. Some of us have believed it, some of us simply haven't. But Ben Jacobs has come out and he's tried to clarify the situation. So we're going to see what Ben Jacobs has said about it. On other news, guys, we heard a few days ago and we heard last week that Maguire's contract could be extended. And now we are also hearing that Casemiro's contract at Manchester United could be extended. We could keep Casemiro on, but on a lower wage. You're going to let me know what you think about that news. I did say, or did think, that we're going to get Maguire's, the Casemiro's, all of these players that we know we need to move on to complete a rebuild. We're now starting to hear that both of these players, and probably we're going to hear some more. We've heard about Bruno staying on Monday. We heard about Maguire's contract last week, and now we're hearing about Casemiro's contract. What is happening here? Why are we slowly starting to get news about all of these players being kept on by Manchester United? Please let me know what the hell is going on. In your opinion, people, comment below. Also, we have news about fixtures. Our fixtures are changing left, right, and centre. Our Saturday 3 p.m. fixtures, many of them are being moved. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, Manchester United Football Club is the most viewed, the most followed football club probably in the world. Loads of people want to watch our games. So Sky and the powers that be are realizing that having us play at 3 p.m. on a Saturday with the rest of the commoners is not good for business. It's not making them money. So we're going to talk about, we're going to see what fixtures, what 3 p.m. Saturday fixtures they have moved. So that's also something that we can talk about. And in case you guys care, if you want to know, Mike Oliver, yes, Michael Oliver will be the referee on Sunday. I don't know what that means to you, but you let me know what it means that Mike Oliver will be reffing the Liverpool and Manchester United game. So just to recap today's show, we're going to go through the INEOS building the stadium, trying to buy land. We're going to talk about that very briefly. Then we're going to talk about the Amorim and Ugarte quotes. We're going to talk about Ben Jacobs and the UAE consortium takeover. We're going to see what he has to say. Talk about Casemiro potentially staying, fixture changes, and also Michael Oliver. So that's kind of the topics today. We're going to run through all the news for you guys very quickly, as we do on this channel. Leave your comments, leave your conversations, guys. Let me know your opinions. It's not a dictatorship. It's just me presenting you guys with the facts in order to encourage conversation. That's all, guys. That's all. Big up my guy TK as always. TK, you know how much I appreciate your support, bro. You are here always, bro. Big up T Kizzle for Rizzle. We have candy bar here called Big Turk. Oh, mind-bendingly delicious. Is that really? All right, we're going to Google that right now. Let's Google that right now. TK says this is we're going to Google that right now, TK. What's a Big Turk? Oh, wow. You literally Googled Big Turk and all you saw was massive Turkish men. That's not what he meant by Big Turk. So let's... Big Turk chocolate bar. It is the Big Turk. Big Turk, no, what's it say? Big Turk, red, blue, and white. Oh, typical red, blue, and white. Everything's red, blue, and white. Nestle. All right. It's got Turkish delight in it. Oh, interesting. Totally off topic, but that's what happens in the channel. As soon as TK in the chat said they had a chocolate bar called Big Turk, I had to find out what the hell he's talking about. Big up the chat. Big up Ivan in the chat. Big up iVizzle. If we renew Maguire and Casemiro, we might as well shut down the whole organization. Listen, Ivan's slowly becoming one of my favorites, you know. Big up Ivan in the chat, my guy. Now, yeah, Ivan, listen, I don't want to give too much of my opinion today, because I feel like if I start talking, I'm going to go off on one. Today. So I'm going to try to keep it short for you guys, you know, so I know people have things to do. TK says Casemiro would need to go down to 100k a week for me to entertain him staying, not to mention a bench player at most, but I'd rather he left. That experiment was a fail. I'm slightly with TK on that one. I ain't gonna lie. Big up Turkish in the chat. DJ Dark Us Night. Yeah, man, that DJ Night. We are going one step forwards, two backwards if this is true. DJ, I don't understand why we can't do a rebuild and do the rebuild. Like, can't we are supposed to be going after Adam Wharton and Baleba and all these guys, but at the same time offering Casemiro. And listen, it's strange. It's very strange. And Maguire, we've been trying to sell Maguire for 4 years. We understand that. We talk about certain players can't make it in the Premier League because they don't have the pace and they don't have the power needed. Maguire's never had that. Why can't we just get rid of Maguire? Anyway, like I said, yeah, I'm gonna go off on one. I can feel it. You know when it's starting, my rant is coming. So let me just back off and stick with the show, stick to the topics. Mike's okay, just give him a full English before the game. Big up DJ Dark Knight, man. Big up everyone. All right, let's go through it quickly, guys. Let's see what's going on. So quickly, first up on the agenda, Manchester United and the build and the land and the stadium we are trying to build. Essentially, as you guys know, we are trying to get the government involved as much as possible. Man United do not want to build, don't want to use much of their own money. They want a project so the government can also chip in and benefit from it, whether it's houses, whether it's flats, whatever it might be. complexes, centers, a place you can have concerts. It doesn't matter. We want as many people involved in making this as much as possible, so we don't have to put as much as of our own money in this project. So that is essentially the gist of what is going on. It's not a fact, but I believe one of the benefits of having Ratcliffe on board, INEOS on board with the Glazers, is because of Ratcliffe's connection with the government, gyms. I think it's got OBE or something like that. I don't know. But I believe Manchester United can secure investments, can secure government backing more now that Jim is involved than before. It's not the only reason why Jim's involved with Man United. He wants to buy the club so he can make money. Yeah, but that is definitely a perk of having Jim involved. So this is the story. Man United are optimistic about acquiring the land around Old Trafford following constructive discussions with the owner's Freightliner, which would have paved the way for the construction of the new stadium based on initial plans. So, yeah. So that's that. I thought I was gonna have more news to report to you, to be honest. So yeah, that is basically that. 1 second. So yeah, so Man United are confident they're gonna secure the land. And they're close to securing the deal for the land near Old Trafford, and they're proposed about £2 billion. So the stadium is going to cost around £2 billion, and it will be a 100,000 seater stadium. So at the moment, Old Trafford is 76,000. Yeah, because we were 67, then we increased it. So we're 76,000 at the moment. So this stadium is 100,000 seater stadium and will cost around £2 billion. There are reports that Manchester United have offered £50 million for the land. £50 million for the land. However, the Freightliner consortium company, whatever you want to call them, they want 400 million. So do you get that? So we've offered 50 million for the land. They want 400 million for the land. I don't know if that land's worth 400 million. If they see Man United and they see the cha-ching, just like, you know, when we do transfer business, all the other clubs say, they see cha-ching, let's drain Man United. Let's take Man United for everything they have. I don't know. I think it's a mixture of two. I think 50 million is low. It's taking the mick. But I also think 400 million is high. As usual, we probably will meet somewhere in between. I think that's it, guys. That's the news about the stadium. United are still hopeful that they're going to strike a deal in the coming months, and they're still hopeful that the government will intervene, maybe through a compulsory purchase order. And what that is basically when the government say, listen, get the hell out of your house. We are going to buy your house and there's nothing you can do about it. That can happen. So that potentially could also happen. So that's that news. That's what's going on there. Let me see if you guys are saying anything about that. If you guys are excited about this new stadium. I mean, by the time this gets done, I can imagine it's 5 years time or something. Who knows? Who knows where we're going to be, what situation Man United are going to be, what condition the club is going to be in by the time this gets built. A lot of people don't even like the design. Some people are critical of the web, sort of spider webby, sort of, what is it, tent look about it. It looks like a tent, but it doesn't look like a tent. I don't understand it. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Big up Eddie in the chat. Don't feed into it. That's what they want. At least with Sir Jim, we have a face, no matter how small. DJ says, would rather develop Old Trafford. Yeah, I don't understand. How much would it cost to just develop Old Trafford? Let's say, how much would it cost to fix the roof, right? Maybe add another 20,000 seats somewhere, build it up a little bit, add about 20,000 seats, make it 96,000, build up the area around it a little bit more. But the thing is, the problem with Old Trafford is that there's not a lot there's not a lot of space around it, I don't think. I've been there at least 6-7 times now to watch United. Wow, this land looks huge. So I hear you, DJ. Why can't we build up Old Trafford? I think what the fans going to be like, because Man United fans are very sentimental. When we leave Old Trafford finally and go to this new stadium, and this new stadium is going to have a new name, we're going to sell it to, I don't know, sell it to Apple, and it's going to be called the Apple Stadium or something. Like, United fans are very religious, very sentimental. How are United fans in general going to handle moving away from the famous Old Trafford? When we get to that part, it's going to be so interesting to see the psychology, so interesting to see the camps, to see who's angry, who's sad, who's marching here, who's marching there. The whole thing is going to be very, very fascinating by the time it happens, I think. So apparently there was a fan survey. I'm seeing this on my screen. A fan survey launched about the new stadium and the vision, and it's still open. So the survey was launched last week for people to take part. You can go to the Man United website. I can put it up on screen for you guys if you want. But you can go on the Man United website. There you go. Go backwards, and you can complete the survey. So go online if you want to complete the survey, and give your opinion, I guess. Yeah, but we're just showing you. We're not gonna go through the whole thing, but yeah, that's it. So big up that point. 40 mil against 400 is so jokes. Not only club rip us off, now government officials do too. When you see a wounded gazelle, Ivan, in the Serengeti, when a lion sees a wounded gazelle, when a cheetah sees a wounded gazelle in the Serengeti, I'm not gonna lie, even the hyenas, bro, even the hyenas and the wild dogs, they're all nibbling. They're all gonna want something. So that's what we are. We're that wounded animal in flipping the Sahara, in the African plains, getting this nibbled at by everything, even the little bugs trying to eat. Anyway, big up. Let's go into the Ugarte stuff. So Ruben Amorim words to Manuel Ugarte. Apparently this happened a while back. Ugarte, as I said, has been spoken to firmly by the manager. Ugarte was a player that worked under this manager. I'm pretty sure, guys, Ugarte worked under Amorim at Sporting. If I'm wrong, let me know. You guys will always let me know if I'm wrong. Please, I treasure the truth. This is not a post-truth world in this channel. This is the truth channel. So if I'm wrong, just correct me, people. Like, I beg you. But I believe so. So the story is basically this, as you can see on your screen. In the same meeting where he told Garnacho to go find a new club, Ruben Amorim said this: "You're not the same player than what you were at Sporting." And that's coming from Laurie Whitwell. As usual, guys, what's in my mind is, one, why is Laurie Whitwell right now at this moment of time reporting this story? If this happened at the same time as the Garnacho find a new club, why didn't we hear about it then? Why didn't Man United leak this? Because the only way people know about anything is if the club leaked it. And look, why didn't we leak it? I want people in my chat to understand propaganda, media. I mean, I think most of you guys will. But always ask why. Why now? It was convenient for us to leak the Garnacho stuff because Garnacho wasn't playing well. There's pressure on Garnacho. We might start leaking some Ugarte stuff because we want to get rid of Ugarte. I keep telling people there are two ways the club gets rid of players. They can either convince you, the fan, to hate the player and chase him at the club, like we have done, rightfully and wrongfully, some players. Yeah, that's one way. Definitely one way. And there's other ways they could do it. This is definitely PR. There's no reason for us to be hearing about this if the conversation was 5 months ago. That's a question I want to ask. What is the purpose of this news being put out there right now if it's not for us to be like, get rid of Ugarte? I don't understand any other reason for this to exist, because that's the feeling it will create. The only thing this will create is Man United fans saying, yeah, he's not good enough. That's it. That's the only reason this is out there, this story. However, that being said, is he right? Is he correct? Have you been impressed with Ugarte? Two things can be true at once. How do you think Ugarte has done? Because at the end of the day, this manager, and we've all seen it on this channel, still prefers to pick Casemiro over Ugarte, despite the fact we all know Casemiro doesn't have the legs. Yeah? Yeah? We bought Ugarte because we thought he was a monster. We thought he was a monster. He was going to run around, tackle everybody, be a bully, be a terror, be a Kante. Nobody can be Kante, because Kante, I always say, Kante has elephant lungs. He can keep running forever, Kante. He's fake. But that's what we thought we were going to get. Have you been impressed with Ugarte? Is the manager right with what he's saying? Would you get rid of Ugarte? Would you play Ugarte ahead of Casemiro? I don't know, guys, but let me know your thoughts. Big up Ivan. Big up Ivan for that comment. I just read the comment, Ivan. Big you up. Ivan has said, and you ain't the same coach since Sporting. Yo, big up Ivan for that comment. Big up. TK said, when I see an older drunk lady at a bar. TK is silly, you know. Ugarte is an extra on the animated feature film Monsters Inc. Oh no. He's an extra in Monsters Inc, you know. Big up Monsters Inc. It's a good movie. Yeah, big up DJ Night, big up Eddie. Alright, so that's Ugarte. If I'm being honest, guys, I think we could all say, can we all agree as a channel that Ugarte is done. The Ugarte experiment is done. I don't think he has a future here. We've now seen what he can do. He's not it. He's not it. Like, he just isn't. So the problem is you need to be, he's not that great on the ball. That's the thing. I always say, listen, Casemiro and Ugarte. One, not that good off the ball, Casemiro, because he doesn't have the legs. But he has the brain. He has the know-how. He can look over his shoulder and track a man who's running off him. Like, we've seen Bruno many times lose his man. Emil Smith Rowe, that Fulham goal, Bruno lost his man. So Bruno doesn't have that defensive mentality that Casemiro has. But Casemiro doesn't have the engine like he used to have. But Casemiro can play ball. Casemiro can pass the ball forward. Casemiro, I always like to tell people or say that I think Casemiro, even though he doesn't have legs, is still the best player we can play in that double pivot. in my opinion. Whereas Ugarte might give you a bit more than Casemiro off the ball. He has a bit of legs. But on the ball, he can't give you what Casemiro gives you. Casemiro can give you that head. Casemiro is in the air. In the air, Casemiro is a fucking beast. How many times over the last 2 years has this man, Casemiro, won us games by being a beast? He's, at the end of the day, Casemiro can say he's come to Man United and in 3 years he's won 2 trophies. And he was instrumental in both the FA Cup and the Carling Cup wins, Casemiro. 100%. So, it is what it is. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Casemiro or Ugarte. You know, pros and cons of both. Ivan says Ugarte is our worst signing in the INEOS era for sure, but he still gets played over Kobe. That's a comment. That is true. What does that mean? He still gets played over Kobe. Convert Ugarte to a defender. Can't be worse than Shaw, says TK. I hear that. Enrique got rid of this guy and we splashed 60 million on him without thinking. Why he's getting excluded from PSG? Well, we all know now. Ivan, I want Man United, Ivan, to stop, and I've said this before, stop raiding other clubs' dustbins. I understand that other clubs could be getting rid of players that are actually really good, but that they can't just fit in their team. And you could be getting a bargain. Like a Mazraoui from Bayern, like a De Ligt from Bayern, maybe. But we need to be careful. Stop raid. We're not raccoons. Yeah. Stop raiding other clubs' dustbin for gems. How about we dig up our own gem from the mine, from the diamond mine, rather than going to a dustbin to find one. That is all I'm saying, people. Let's move on quickly. Time is of the essence. So, last week, everybody was talking about the takeover. Some people were getting excited. Some people were poo-pooing it. I told you guys, listen, nobody knows nothing. That's not even the right sentence. Nobody knows anything. It's all speculation. It's all rumors. While at the same time, I said to my guys, listen, there must be a small amount of truth in it, at least. Because this is snowballed into something so big that everyone's talking about it like it is facts. Like it is facts. So, I've got this from Ben Jacobs, who has been talking about this a lot. Some of you guys just don't care. I've said, listen, just tell me when the takeover is serious. Wake me up when there's a serious takeover bid. All this he said, she said, it's going to happen, it's not going to happen, 10 years time, 5 years time, who's the consortium, all this stuff. I'm just like, stop wasting my time. Stop the distractions. You're giving Casemiro and Maguire new deals, you fuckers. Stop trying to distract me with this bullshit. Yeah? This rebuild is not actually happening. So stop with your nonsense of... Anyway, Ben Jacobs has said this. There is a group specifically from the UAE that are interested and are exploring whether or not they can put together a consortium and have actually approached some ex-United players to invest, but to be ambassadors. Cool, let's stop there. So there's no bid. There's no conversation about the takeover. It hasn't even got to a conversation with Man United yet. None of that. So that was all lies. That was all lies then. And that's why I said, listen, this whole thing is just foolishness, guys. Why are we pushing this? So according to Ben Jacobs, they're just about getting ready to put a consortium together. They haven't even got their flipping shit together yet. How can they launch a bid or even have a conversation with Manchester United Football Club when they haven't even got their team together? This is strange. He goes on to say, that's where we are at the moment. This group may be advanced in terms of internally putting itself together, but they haven't placed a bid, nor have they even alerted the Glazers. We'll have to wait and see how it develops. Cool. For me, people, if I'm being honest, and we have to pick and choose who we believe sometimes, because a lot of journalists have been talking shit when it comes to this. This makes more sense to me than anything else I've read so far about the situation. This is not advanced. There's no conversation with Manchester United. None of that, according to Ben Jacobs. So if I can politely say to my channel, to you guys, unless I hear something concrete, I don't really, unless I have to, unless everyone else is talking about this, we will talk about it on our channel. Yeah, that's fine. But I don't really want to talk about this again until something serious is happening. I don't want to be pulled through the ringer and be pulled through a ride only for it not to happen. No. So this apparently is where we are, people. Let me know. I think some of you guys will be like, this is BS. Let's move on, Chosen. Let's just not. I know what you guys are like. TK says, to touch on us buying likes of Ugarte, Xerxes, Casemiro, hoping that these type of purchases are behind us. Raid other EPL clubs. I rather buy star players from Championship, Dutch or Portugal. Championship versus the Dutch or the Portuguese league. Yeah, it's hard. It's interesting because while I agree with TK that Casemiro wasn't the right purchase. You know, when something wasn't the right purchase, he's the wrong age, wrong profile, all these things. However, the 2 years that he was here, the first year he was our best player. Let's cut the crap. Casemiro lost the first year on the Ten Hag. Casemiro, Martinez, and what's the defender? Who's gone? The French defender. Oh, my mind's gone blank. But those three at the base of our team were absolutely phenomenal. Casemiro was phenomenal in his first season. Great. Second season, he was okay, but he fell off towards the end. Third season, which is this season, right? This season, for me, he's played better than Bruno. So it's like in that position anyway. So it's like we shouldn't have got him. We should have got a younger player, better profile, all these things. But I don't buy into he's been crap for us. I'm not saying that's what TK is saying, but I don't buy into when people say that about him. But he needs, right now, if you ask me a question, Casemiro needs to be sold. Right now, at his age, the fact that his legs are gone, he, in an ideal world, for me, needs to be sold, get a little bit of money from him from Saudi, and reimburse that money into the midfield. That's what needs to happen. Thank you, Casemiro, for the 3 years. We shouldn't have bought you. You were the wrong profile. However, you gave us some good times when you were here. Thank you. Get a fee for him. Reimburse it. That's probably where I differ maybe from TK's assessment. And Xerxes, I get the Xerxes thing. I like Xerxes though, but I get it. I do get it. Casemiro is our best player. That statement really underlines how bad our squad is. I hear that. I hear that. But we finished. Where did we finish under Ten Hag? Didn't we finish third under Ten Hag or something? Where did we finish under Ten Hag in the first season that Casemiro was here? Did we finish? Let's look at back, because as much as you want to say it was bad, we were bad. Under Ten Hag first season with Casemiro, Martinez and Varane, where did we finish? I'm pretty sure we finished like third or something. I don't know. Yeah, we finished third. And we won a Carabao Cup. So, yeah. I got really good memory. I remember when players do good things and win us games and stuff. No, I don't have a good memory. That's a lie. I don't actually have a great memory at all. I'm lying to you. Ivan says we have Real Madrid, CR7, Ruben Nistelrooy, and Beckham. They gave us a washed Casemiro, a broken Varane, and Di Maria the Snake. I hate that club. Listen, Ivan. Listen, Ivan. We went and got those players from Madrid. They didn't force us to get them players, you know. They didn't do it. We did that. But that's funny though. You're right. Yeah. Either way, the point that TK's making is that Casemiro was coming towards the end of his career when we got him. Yeah. And I agree. Varane. Listen, it's interesting that because Varane, the 2 years we had him was really good for us. He was our best defender once again. And it's interesting. He was not as injured as I thought he was going to be when we got him. I thought Varane was going to miss like half the games through injury. He was all right. His injury record when he came here was decent. I think he was decent. Worried because he's a Ruby favourite. Wonder if Ruby is pushing for an extension. Casemiro. No, TK. Casemiro's I think, yeah, I don't know about this. I think if Ruby, Ruby, I think it's up to Ruby. I think Ruby would have sold Casemiro. I'm hoping it's not true. And I'm hoping that he's going to get kept because we're going to move on Ugarte and maybe move on Kobe. And when we bring in, and maybe move on Bruno. And when we bring in all like the Balebas of this world, we're going to need someone like Casemiro who's experienced, who's, you know, just to be there. Maybe. That's the only reason why I think of maybe Casemiro being kept. And like you said, TK, it has to be like 90 grand. Like Maguire, if we're going to keep Maguire, please not. It has to be like 90, 80k a year. Do you know what I mean? Something like that. And they're the squad players and that's it. Yeah. All right, cool. We were third. We finished third under Ten Hag with those players. So it is what it is, man. Let's move on, guys, quickly. Yeah, there you go. We started talking about this already, and this is next up. Now that we've spoken about it in the chat a little bit, and like I said, I did stand up for Casemiro. He hasn't been terrible all the time he's been here. He's helped us out. He's had good games, all these things. However, you know, this is nuance. This is why I said we need to have conversations, because it's not a black and white thing. I still think we need to sell him. He needs to go. So when I hear that Man United have not ruled out keeping Casemiro beyond the season, I'm thinking, what's the ambition here? What's the ambition here? For instance, the Xerxes situation that you guys are talking about, TK. I like Xerxes. However, if you're not playing him and if you're not using him, sell him. Sell him. That's where I'm at with Casemiro. He's done well in parts. He's lost his legs. He can't do what we fully want him to do. He can't do it. So why would we be thinking about extending his contract? I like Cass. I do. But I have to put my logical brain on and be like, no, I don't. Sorry, Cass, we got to get rid of you, bro. We have to rebuild. So I don't know. I just hope, like I said before, if we do this, as the tweet suggests, it's going to be on a reduced salary. But even then, I'm just like, oh, no. Oh, no, Cass. It just had to be Maguire the both of them. Oh, Ivan, is it a wind up? When you see that picture, does it wind you up? You know, some people would be wounded up. What's the past tense? Wound up. Because you can't say wounded, because wound is already past tense. So, yeah, it's a very interesting picture. Harry needs to pay us to stay. I'm sorry. Relax, lads. That's our future in one pick. Oh man, uh, I can't believe that. Anyway, that's what I think. Like I said, nuance. I like Cass, but come on, guys. I think we can all agree that we need to move on. We need to move on from Casemiro, from Maguire's, from Shaw's. In my opinion, from those sort of players. That's what I think. That's our future. Just short left for the legendary Trinity. If we line up with Casemiro in the starting 11 in 12 months' time, I will stop watching this team. That's the last straw for Teak. That's it. I'm done. Big up Wiz. Yo, big up Shivam. I know Shivam's going to have something. Shiv's going to have something to say about this Casemiro maybe staying. I know Shivam's not going to be on it at all, but I know. So it is what it is, guys. We'll see. We'll see, because at the end of the day, we are getting scared to death by now. Talks of Maguire staying, as I said before. Talks of Bruno staying on. And now talks of Casemiro staying on. Shaw's already got 2 years left on his contract, I believe, anyway. So, what are we doing here, Manchester United fans? What are we doing here? Hmm? Hmm? Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. Big up the chat. Next season, we won't see Bruno, Cass, Mount, Dallo, Ugarte, Manu, Maguire, Tom, in there. It's the end. Tata, bye-bye. Shibam. Shibam came with the smoke. Send Shibam to Casemiro. Yeah, listen, send Shibam. Shibam will get rid of Casemiro. Shibam will drive there himself. Shibam's on this thing when it comes to getting people out. it makes Shibam so happy. Yo, big up Shibam, man. All right, next. What's the next news? All right, quickly, guys. Let's wrap up. Fixture changes. You guys might not care that much, but I guess TK might care a bit more. He's watching from Canada, and a lot of you guys are watching. In fact, let me just rephrase that. I know a lot of you guys, a lot of my new followers are watching all over the world, actually, from Nigeria to Kenya to South Africa to Canada, Uganda. So many people now are, watching in this channel, in this chat from all over the globe. So big up everybody who's watching outside of the UK. I appreciate you. But fixture changes, and to me, this is not news per se, because every year the fixture list is released, and a lot of our 3 p.m. games, if they're spicy, if it's Man United versus Man City or whatever it might be, it will be moved to either Saturday evening UK time or Super Sunday, right? I think that's quite normal, right? But I believe there's more switches than usual this year, because a lot of people are interested in seeing what the hell this Man United side are doing. We are overanalyzed, over scrutinized. I won't say overwatched. You can't overwatch something, but that's where we are. That's where we are as a football club, and that's probably where we're always going to be. And it's interesting that we are more watched now than maybe we've ever been. Yes, populations have grown around the world, but we're doing rubbish right now. So you'd think that less people would want to watch United. But I guess a lot of people find and feel happiness to see us lose. What we also and never should forget is how many people, how many organizations, the media, the journalists, some of them are Liverpool fans, Tottenham fans, how many people are feeding their kids off the back of our misery? How many people are happy, excited? They're loving. These last 10 years has been the best time of their lives. The best time of their lives. We are the most hated football club, or we support the most hated football club. Sometimes I say we. I'm like, listen, I hate Man United. I'm me. I just support Man United. You're not the ones. But also the most loved at the same time. Anyway, Andy Mitten is saying this. Big up Andy Mitten. In fact, no, not big up. What am I bigging him up for? I don't care about Andy Mitten. But outrageous switching of United fixtures yet again, he said, with more matches shifted to Monday night. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think any of our matches so far because we've only had 5, 6, has been on a Monday. But there will be soon. So Bournemouth is moving to a Monday. The Bournemouth game is moving to a Monday. And let's not forget, guys, we don't have midweek fixtures. So there's no reason, absolutely no reason, for any of our matches to be on a Monday, let alone Sunday. Anyway, there's one United home game on the weekend in 12 weeks. And that may go even longer if late December games are shifted. So in the next 12 weeks, yeah, we only have one home game that's going to be played on the actual weekend, apparently. That's a bit strange. That's why I'm like, it's okay for games to be moved. It's normal. But this is it's a bit much. It's a bit much, I think. Let me know. Oh, big up Suspect in the chat. I didn't even notice. Big up Suspect in the chat. Amorim out, Shivs in. Suspect, show some respect to great sevens of your club. Wasn't long ago I heard about Casemiro was a better signing than Rice. Bruno being more creative than Odegaard, says Suspect. Yeah. Shivam says, Suspect, we doing it, bro. The servants will become the servants. The servants will become the servants at United, starting with T-Lady position. The day I start respecting players that came 15th, I might as well change to a League One club, says Ivan. TK says, United are like the Kardashians. Complete car wreck of a show. Big up. Suspect says, win on the weekend and you're 2 points behind Liverpool. Crisis? What crisis? Big up Suspect in the chat. Arsenal fan in the chat. So you got to take his words with a pinch of salt. Sometimes he comes on a banter thing. Sometimes he doesn't. But big up Suspect in the chat though. Declan Rice is good. Declan Rice he's been good for Arsenal. I can't say he hasn't been good. For me, with the Arsenal thing, is when Arsenal fans were trying to downplay like Pogba, while at the same time trying to justify 110 million for Declan Rice. That stuff is wild. And yeah, with regards to Casemiro, Suspect, his legs are gone. He's not on Declan Rice's level in the Premier League, because Declan Rice can run forever. Right, so yeah, I can't really comment on that. Declan Rice is better than Casemiro, for sure. For sure, bro. Luke Chapman says, got new Northampton Town away kit, pink and black. All right, let's Google that. Let me Google that Northampton away kit. I want to see what it looks like, bro. We finished 4th this season. Shivam, I want your optimism, bro. I keep telling you, I need it. Shivam says we finished 4th this season. Amorim the savior. Let's go. Oh, let me see this Northampton. Oh, that's a. Hey, Luke, is this it? Let's put it on screen. Is that it, Luke? That pink is it's a hot pink, isn't it? It's a bit much though, isn't it? It looks wavy though, but it's a lot. It's very pink. Oh man. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I don't expect Man United to beat Liverpool. I do not expect that to happen at all. If it does, of course I'll take it, but I don't expect United to beat Liverpool. Suspect says Pogba was a great baller, way more talented than Rice. However, I can't admit this when he plays for the Ops. As soon as he leaves, I can be honest. Big up Suspect, bro. Big up my guy, man. Always, bro. Long time as well, man. I hear you though. I hear you. Agendas have to agenda, innit? Like it's football. It is what it is. Agendas happy. Them happy agenda. Agendas happy agendas, man. What I'm telling man. And that them I do. And that them I do. Taras. Anyway, people. Michael Oliver. Listen, I don't mind Michael Oliver. I'm gonna say this. I got no beef with Michael Oliver. But maybe you guys do. Maybe you guys do. This is just news I want to let you guys know. In 4 days time, we're going to line up against Liverpool and this man is going to ref the game. I'm not going to lie. Doesn't Mike Oliver ref most of the big games? Doesn't he ref most of the big games anyway? Mike Oliver. Isn't he now like the new... Who was the top ref in the Premier League like 4 years ago? The bald guy who refed in the World Cup. No, not Italian. The English bald guy. The English bald guy that refed in the World Cup final. He was a top ref in the UK for a while. What's his name? What's his name, people? That's it. Howard Webb. So, Howard Webb was a guy, right? Before Mike Oliver. As in, Howard Webb was a guy who was chosen to do the big games, and now it's Mike Oliver. Before Webb was Taylor. Let's go. Who's Taylor again? Dude, this Taylor. Mike Taylor. Maybe if I. Oh, that yes. Taylor. Yeah. Anthony Taylor. So Anthony Taylor. Then obviously Webb. And of course now Mike Oliver. Yeah. All right. Well, personally, like I said, I got no beef with Mike Oliver reffing the game. Unless you guys want to tell me something like in the last 5 games he's reffed, he's given 10 red cards against Man United players. Unless there's a stat out there, you guys are going to scare me with some crazy flipping Michael Oliver anti-United stat that maybe I'm not aware of. But either way, I don't know. This is not really news to me and I'm not really bothered about this. So that's it. I know some people are upset by the Mike Oliver thing, but like I said, unless I see some stat, what the hell is Mbumo doing? Unless I see a stat about, Michael Oliver being biased, I don't really care. Taylor has a Gerrard poster above his bed. All right, we don't want Taylor then. We definitely don't want Taylor. What is this? Before we leave, guys, as usual, I try to find something positive because a lot of our times spent together, we're discussing the football club, and it's negative. So as usual, I try to find something stupid, something silly. Uriah Rennie. Now let me Google Uriah Rennie quickly because I forgot Uriah Rennie. Oh yeah, my guy. No, bring back Uriah. Hey, suspect, was he like the only black ref? How many black referees are in the Premier League now? Is it me? Have we gone backwards? How many black refs are in the Premier League right now? Let's do. How many black referees? Listen, I know some of you guys say it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but I want to know. Only one. All right, Sam Allison. Only the second in 15. Sam Allison is the only black referee in the Premier League, and we've only had 2 black referees in 15 years. Listen, the only reason why this matters, people, yeah, it's my channel and I'm a black man, so I can talk about this, yeah, is that the Premier League right now is made up of at least, I reckon, 50% of the Premier League is at least non-white. Yeah. And that should be reflected by the managers, the coaches, and the referees. It should be. It's something that should be consistent. And if it's not, then is there a problem here? I mean, it's a hypothetical question. I know there is a problem. Anyway, that's what it is. Eddie says there's a few black referees in the Championship. Oh shit! Do you know what? Uriah Rennie. I never knew. Listen, he's passed. Oh my! Where was I? Did I even know about it? I think I probably. Yeah, I think there's so much news that gets sieved through my brain. I never. It's either I forgot that Uriah Rennie had passed, bro. Big R.I.P. Uriah, bro. I don't even. You know, as a black man in this country, and then seeing that referee, and seeing, I'll be like, whoa! I remember as a young lad seeing that ref, being like, oh shit, we could be referees. Sometimes, yeah, as a kid, you don't know what you can be unless you see it. Sometimes as a kid, you don't know what you can be unless you can see it. So big up R.I.P. Uriah, man. R.I.P. Big up Jerry. Big up Jerry Rizzle in the chat. Eddie said, yeah, there's a few black refs in the championship. Yeah, one of one. Yeah, Uriah was a G, man. All right, let's just end in this before we wrap up, guys. What is this? What is Mbumo doing? All right. All right. Apparently, Aiden Heaven. I haven't even watched this yet, but I'm already laughing. Aiden Heaven has caught Brandon Bumo in the change. This is some weird stuff anyway. In the change rooms, dancing in it, and he's posted it. So it is what it is, isn't it? Let me see what's going on here. French rap. This guy thinks he's on the stage. This guy thinks he's on the stage. My man's like, this guy thinks he's on the stage rapping. Look at this guy. Look at him. His sliders on. Listen, I've seen the memes. I mean, I've seen the Brandon Bumo memes. I've seen the belly memes. These people got no chill, you know. I've seen the belly. Oh my gosh. Hey, you might have a different career. You might have a second career. Who's that other rapper? Is it the Dutch one? Number 7. We had him. Man United had him for about 2-3 years before we sold him. Oh, my brain is Dutch player. He wore number 7 for us. High profile Dutch player. Banged loads of goals for Holland now. Depay. I'm for Memphis Depay's rapping now or something. I don't know, man. But yeah. I'm sure Memphis is rapping. Is it Ahmad? I ain't gonna lie, guys. I saw the Ahmad goal, yeah. And watch it back again. Is it me or does the keeper need to do better here? Look at the keeper. Just look at the keeper. Look at the goal. The goal, like, is in the keeper's corner. Nah, man. I like Ahmad. Great goal. Don't get me wrong. But that's such a good goal. But I think the keeper needs to do better there. I think he does. But I like the fact that Ahmad is growing. You know when someone's growing and they're taking on more responsibilities for their national team. They're taking free kicks, taking penalties. Ahmad needs to start doing that more. Ahmad's not a baby anymore. I keep saying this. Ahmad's not 18. We've been singing this guy's praises, calling him Amadinho and all these things, and Ivor and Messi. I think he needs to now start showing it a bit more. Who did he score against? Onana. Good question. Good question. But no, it wasn't. It wasn't Onana. That's funny. But yeah, good question. What team is it actually? You can always Google to see what team they face. But footballers. Wait, let's read that first. Eddie says there's only 4% black people in the UK, so would be hard in terms of representation. That is also true. I think a lot of the footballers that are non-white are foreign, right? And so you're not going to get really foreign-born refs. I agree. You're not really. So yeah, Eddie's been objective here and factual to be fair. Footballers want to be rappers. Yeah, you know what it is. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, football's a job to a lot of people, and it's a job you have for 15 years before you don't have it anymore. So I'm always in a mindset as of you can do loads of things outside football, but make sure it doesn't interfere with your football, and make sure that football comes first still. Because you can be a rapper after your career's finished, bro. When you reach 35, your legs are gone and you give it up. Go into the studio booth and spit your bars, you know. But yeah, Memphis Depay. Iwobi. Oh yeah, so listen, have you guys seen Iwobi's songs? Even though Iwobi's on YouTube now, rapping. So listen, these young G's now, these young footballers, they want to do everything now. Alex Iwobi is rapping as well, so it is what it is. Don't let the Daily Mail get hold of that video. Nah, suspect is right. You're right with that one, bro. Jerry said he better be wrapping his foot around some balls next game. Big up, Jerry. Eddie says, congrats to Ghana making the World Cup, my home nation. Big up, Ghana. Big up, Ghana. It's very interesting how there's a African Cup of Nations this year, January, and also the World Cup. And I was told it's because of COVID, right? The reason why the African Cup of Nations is all out of kilter is because of COVID. Because it shouldn't be happening the same year as the World Cup, as far as I understand it. But I'm not gonna lie, I want one of the African nations to do well. I can't wait for the World Cup. Yeah, that's a bad boy team. Yeah. That team's sick. Idris Gana Gay, Sarr, both Sarrs and Ismailia Sarr, Sadio Mane, Nicholas Jackson, Koulibaly, Mendy, Diouf. Do you know what? This team looks it's decent. Let's see, man. Well, when the World Cup starts here, I hope some teams surprise us. I really do. I really do. I think we need a World Cup, man. This world right now is messed up, bro. And football's small. It's a small part of our world, but at the same time, you know what football can do. We know what football can do, man. So big up the chat. Eddie says Iwobi is a trash rapper. Listen, I saw one of his songs in it the other day. I was just on YouTube and I was like, who? This looks like somebody. And I was like, oh, this is Alex Iwobi. I was like, what's Alex Iwobi doing? What am I doing here? Oh my gosh. I ain't gonna lie, guys. I love Ahmed, bro. No one can convince, not even Shivam can convince me not to like Ahmed, bro. I like ballers like this. I'm sorry. But anyway, big up the chat. Big up everybody. It's been a good chat, good show. Quick recap. We spoke about INEOS and the stadium situation and the land situation around Manchester United and essentially how they're going to fund it, how they're going to purchase it, hopefully get the government also involved, so on and so forth. We spoke about Amorim calling out Ugarte, and then we also had a discussion about Ugarte. I think most people in the chat agree that Ugarte isn't it. He just isn't it. Ben Jacobs spoke about the UAE consortium situation taking over Man United, and essentially we said on this channel that there's a lot of he said, she said stuff. There's no concrete news about anything. And if anything, Ben Jacobs has now said that the consortium, it hasn't been put together yet. So you can't approach Manchester United with anything if you haven't even got your squad. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's basically where we are with that. We spoke about Casemiro and United potentially keeping him. And I think we all agreed that that wasn't the best, or there isn't the best course of action to take if you want to really, really rebuild the squad. Why would he keep Casemiro? So, and we also spoke about fixture changes. So, some decent news, some good news, decent talking points, decent topics, guys. Big up the chat. We did it in. Oh wow, yeah. Anyway, I was gonna say we did it in less than an hour, but no, that's a lie. Big up Jerry, TK, Eddie, Suspect. Always appreciate when you jump in, my guy. Hope you're doing well. Hope the kids and the family are well. Jerry, Eddie, Shivs, Ivan, Yeah, man, big up the chat. Big up everyone who logged in, who passed through. DJ, Darkest Night as well, who passed through. All the newbies. Enjoy, man. Enjoy the community. Continue having the conversations. Enjoy your Wednesday evening, people. We are back here probably tomorrow, and Friday will be our match preview for the Liverpool game on Sunday. We'll talk about the team, who's available, who's not available. On Friday, we'll talk about the managers, or go through the managers' press conference as well on Friday's show. So yeah, big up the chat, big up the community. Have a good Wednesday. MVP today is Ivan. Ivan came with Tika said, bringing the A game with fact after fact. Big up Ivan in the chat, MVP today. And yeah, guys. Oh, Jerry, what's your thoughts on the pundits saying England have to build the team around Bellingham if they want to win the World Cup? Jerry, I'm not really a fan, yeah, of anybody saying that they need to build a team around anybody. I feel like we need to move past the build a team, because I feel like, did Fergie build a team round? No. The only player I reckon that Fergie kind of built a team around, or made, it's not what's not excuses. What's what I'm looking for? When you make something for, you make allowances for. It was probably CR7 towards the end, because even Cristiano Ronaldo, yeah, was a winger, and he had to cross the ball in for Ruud van Nistelrooy. When we bought him, and he was doing all these stepovers, yeah, very soon he knew that you're not the guy. Ruud van Nistelrooy is the guy. Give the ball to Ruud and let him score. So even then, at the beginning, we didn't build it. We didn't build a team around CR7. I think towards the end of his career at Man United, we started saying, listen, Rooney, you play right wing and let Ronaldo play up front. Then everyone had to sort of like, I won't say bend over backwards, but had to accommodate Ronaldo. I'm all for building a team. Just build a team. Get your cogs, because a team is like a clog, right? It's like a clock. Get all your pieces together and then watch it work. Watch it create the cohesion, the relationships. I don't do the whole, let's build a team around. That is such an old school mentality. And I feel like some of the ex-players who still have that sort of brain, like, let's build a team around this player, let's build a team around Bruno. They're not doing England any service, and they're not doing, especially the ex-Man United ones as well, they're not doing Man United any service by keep bringing some old school mentality and old school thoughts into modern football. Let's not build a team around anybody. And most importantly, Jerry, I will say this, my guy, Bellingham, in my opinion, and this might, this is gonna test you guys' level of I don't know, understanding. I don't think Bellingham is that as good as a lot of people say he is. Let's just leave it as that. I'm not going to go into detail, but I don't buy into Jude Bellingham as much as a lot of people do. I think he's a good player. Really good player, but I think he's overrated, Jude Bellingham. I don't think he's a player to build anything around, personally. But that's my opinion, and you asked for it, so, it is what it is, Jerry. Big up, Jerry. Big up, everybody. Have a good evening, people. Have a good Wednesday, and I will see you guys probably tomorrow around the same time. Big up yourself, and don't forget, it's easier to love than it is to hate. Don't forget to smash the like, guys. I know there was about a good number of you guys in the chat. If we want the channel to do well, we have to do what we need to do. We're a small channel, small community. You guys know this, so we need to keep pushing things and keep pushing the support as well. I appreciate all of you guys. Big up the community, as I said before, and I'll see you guys next time.